There are 100 people in this room, and somehow, every single one of them disappeared the second I saw you. The music's loud, the lights are low. Everybody's playing someone they don't know. I'm standing here drinking hand, pretending that I understand what I'm even doing here tonight. Then the room just shifted, like gravity changed his mind. And I couldn't tell you why, but I found you right away. Wrong crowd, right person, wrong night, right eyes. 100 strangers all around me, and only you felt real tonight. I don't believe in signs of timing, but I believe in what I saw. Wrong crowd, right person. I was lost and then I wasn't anymore. You weren't trying to be seen, you were just there, laughing at something small, brushing the hair from your face, not performing, just alive. And I thought, okay, maybe this is the part where the whole night finally makes sense. Wrong crowd, right person, wrong night, right eyes. 100 strangers all around me, and only you felt real tonight. I don't believe in signs of timing, but I believe in what I saw. Wrong crowd, right person. I was lost and then I wasn't anymore. I've been to 100 rooms like this, left every single one the same way, alone. There's something different in the air tonight. Something in me finally feels like home. Don't let me walk out that door before I know your name. Wrong crowd, right person, wrong night, perfect eyes. 100 strangers all around me, and only you felt real tonight. I don't believe in signs of timing, but I believe in what I saw. Wrong crowd, you were every wrong room I ever walked into. I don't know your last name, I don't know where you grew up, but I swear some part of me has always known you. You said something and I finished it. You laughed and I already knew the sound, like I'd heard it in a different life, or maybe just in every song I've ever needed when I'm down. This doesn't feel like needing someone new. This feels like remembering I knew you first, before your name, before your face. I knew you in the empty space between every almost and not yet. I knew you first, the way you know a song by heart, before you ever hear the start. I knew you first. I've been careful my whole life, measured every word, every door, but something in me me just gave up the second you walked in. I stopped keeping score. I knew you first, before your name, before your face. I knew you in the empty space between every almost and not yet. I knew you first, the way you know a song by heart, before you ever hear the start. I knew you first. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe it's just tonight. Maybe I'm building something out of candlelight. But even if I'm wrong, even if this phase by morning, I'll always know I felt it, this kind of certain you can't explain. I knew you first, in every version of before. I knew you were the one I'd fall for, long before you knew my name. I knew you first, and I think somehow you knew me too. We were never a couple, we were never official. There's no word for what we were, but I grieved you like I lost something real, because I did. No anniversary, no photograph, no mutual friends who knew our name. We never made it to the part where people ask about your game. We were, what, a feeling, or maybe a Tuesday that ran too long. But I knew your coffee order, and you knew when something was wrong. And if that's not something, then I don't know what is. We were never us, never had the words to make it real. But the ache I carry now is the most honest thing I feel. No beginning, no ending, just a space that has no name. We were never us, but the pain was ours just the same. I've tried to minimize it, tell myself it wasn't much, but every time I see your street, my body still remembers your touch. And the body doesn't lie, even when the mind is done. We were never us, never had the words to make it real. But the ache I carry now is the most honest thing I feel. No beginning, no ending, just a space that has no name. We were never us, but the pain was ours just the same. I'm not angry, I'm not asking for anything back. I just need to say it was real to me. Whatever we were, whatever we were, whatever that space between us was called or not called, it was real to me. And I think it was real to you too. We were never us, grateful. God, I'm grateful for every unnamed night we had. We were never us, but we were something, and that's enough.
We said goodnight like it was nothing, like there'd be other nights there weren't. And now all I can think is, we should have stayed longer. The night was perfect, that was the problem. Perfect things end on time. We watched the clock without watching it, both of us pretending we weren't counting down to the moment we'd have to leave. You said you should probably go, I said yeah, probably. Neither of us moved for 10 more minutes. 10 minutes that felt like the realest thing all night. We should have stayed longer, found one more reason to talk, one more drink, one more song, one more excuse not to walk out into the cold, back into our separate lives. We should have stayed longer, but we were too polite to try. I keep thinking about the parking lot, how we stood there, it'd be too long, how you almost said something and then said good night instead. How I drove home replaying every almost in that night. We never exchanged numbers, we never said we'd do it again. It felt too good to ruin with a plan, with expectations. Now it's just a memory with no sequel. We should have stayed longer, found one more reason to talk, one more drink, one more song, one more excuse not to walk out into the cold, back into our separate lives. We should have stayed longer, but we were too polite to try. Maybe that's the tragedy of good nights. We protect them by ending them well. We say goodnight at the perfect moment so nothing can go wrong. And in doing that, we make sure nothing goes right either. I don't know your last name, I don't know where to find you. I just know there was a night we should have stayed longer, and we should have stayed longer. Just 5 more minutes, that's all. 5 minutes that might have changed everything that came after. We should have stayed longer, and maybe somewhere we still are. In the version of that night that never had to end. Everyone's talking, everyone's laughing, and I'm standing here not hearing any of it because I just saw you. The room is full of every kind of sound, glasses, music, 100 conversations. I came here to disappear into all of it, to be just another face in a room that doesn't ask questions. And then I saw you across the room, not doing anything special, just existing. And somehow everything else got quiet. Even though nothing actually stopped, I'm still in the noise, but I can't hear it anymore. Everyone's still talking, but it sounds like it's underwater. I'm still in the noise, standing exactly where I was, but something in me already walked across this room. I haven't moved, I haven't said a word, but my whole chest is loud with something that has no sound. Funny how the quietest moments happen in the loudest rooms. Maybe I'll stay right here, maybe this feeling is enough, just to know that somewhere in all this noise, something real just happened to me. I'm still in the noise, but I can't hear it anymore. Everyone's still talking, but it sounds like it's underwater. I'm still in the noise, standing exactly where I was, but something in me already walked across this room. I could let this be nothing, just a feeling, just a face, or I could be brave for once and walk into the static toward the one thing that finally cut through it. The noise is still here, but so am I, and so apparently is the courage I didn't know I had. I'm still in the noise, but I'm moving through it now. Every step gets quieter, every step gets louder. Somehow I'm still in the noise, but for the first time tonight, I know exactly where I'm going.
Wow. I was looking for a friend that night, knocked on a door I'd never tried. But when you opened half asleep, something in me fell too deep. You weren't waiting, weren't prepared, messy hair and feet still bare. And in that yellow porch light glow, I met a ghost I'd always known. I asked for him, you said he's gone. But neither of us moved along. 10 seconds at your door, that's all it was, nothing more. But I've lived 1,000 lives since then, and none of them felt real again. No touch, no kiss, no promise made, just two strangers half afraid. You were 10 seconds, maybe less, but you became my quiet mess. 10 seconds at your door, I'm still standing there. 10 seconds at your door. I smiled and said I'd come back soon, but we both knew beneath the moon that something passed between us there, too heavy for the night to bear. I turned around, I walked away like strangers do, like people say, but every step felt like a lie. I never really said goodbye. I should have asked you for your name. Instead I let the silence frame. 10 seconds at your door, that's all it was, nothing more. But I've built a life with someone else, and still I can't forgive myself. No words, no future, no regret, just something I cannot forget. You were 10 seconds, barely there, but you're the breath caught in my air. 10 seconds at your door, I'm still standing there. 10 seconds at your door. I have a wife, I have a son, I love the life that I have won. But late at night, when the house goes still, I see that porch, I always will. You in the doorway, barely awake, the only chance I didn't take. And I wonder if you wonder too, if 10 seconds haunts you like it haunts me through. 10 seconds at your door, I never asked for more, but you're the story I replay, the one that never fades away. No touch, no promise, nothing real, just something I will always feel. You were 10 seconds standing there, but you became my silent prayer. 10 seconds at your door, I'm still there, I'm still there. I knocked looking for a friend, I found something I can't name, and I've spent my whole life since pretending it was just a door.